We are back with another episode this week. Two things. First and foremost, this is fully a re-recording. I recorded yesterday, bright and early, 4:30 in the morning. Well, really late because I stayed up. 4:30 in the morning with the intention to post same day, only for me to get into editing, and the audio was absolute caca. Had to re-record. Secondly, I plan to roll out my segments today, scrapping that completely. We are 100% gonna be talking about Stream University, y'all. I am grieving. I am heartbroken that Stream University is over. The last 5 days, I have been horizontal in that bed, watching on any and all available devices at my disposal. My phone, Stream University on Twitch. My laptop, Stream University on Twitch. If my Twitch app on my TV was reliable, both of my TVs will be running Stream University concurrently. My TikTok feed was all Streamer University. My Threads feed was all Streamer University. I was completely engulfed in Streamer University the entire 5 days. And when I say I was thoroughly entertained, that would be a gross understatement. I was entertained. Kai and his team absolutely bodied this year's Stream University. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, feedback that I want to give, not in a discrediting way. I think there's just a lot of things that we're excited to see evolve, to say the least. Coming into Stream University 2027, but I want to start on the positives. First and foremost, I'm not new to this live stream stuff. What is Sam Levette? But I'm definitely not a rookie. I've been watching streams, live streams. Started off with YouTube. I'm very tapped into the UK creator sphere, specifically when it comes to podcasts. Podcasts and streams at the moment are neck and neck when it comes to what I watch, what I consume. I would say podcast still kind of has the edge, but streams is right up there creeping with it. But I started watching YouTube streams first. Then I made my way over to Twitch for specific creators. And when I tell people that I watch streams at my big age of 26, the eyebrows begin to raise. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that streams have a very juvenile reputation. And I know where that comes from, so I don't challenge it. But I also think that there's a lack of understanding for people in the older crowd as to what is the lore, what is the appeal with the whole streaming thing. And if I had to put it into digestible terms for them, I would say streaming, in my opinion, is reality TV on demand from your preferred point of view. What I mean by that, I'm a fan of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Me personally, don't really care to see Angela with a peach. Personally, I think her storyline is boring. She has a couple fantastic reads sprinkled in there, and I'm gonna laugh at every one. But I would much rather more camera time go to Portia, Phaedra, maybe K Michelle, hell, Cynthia, right? Imagine reality TV really raw and uncut. So it's more reality than reality TV from your preferred perspective. That to me is what Twitch is. And specifically towards the childish juvenile reputation, I think that a lot of people are not hip to the fact that there is such a plethora of content creators who are tapped into the streamer space. It's not only what goes viral on your algorithm. Discoverability is definitely something that can be worked on Twitch as a platform. People talk about it all the time. I think a lot of that has to do with how people convert over, or what the perception that's out there has a lot to do with how people convert over and what they see from the bite-sized content that's out there on other platforms. But I very shamelessly be having a ball watching my streams. Um, what I loved about Stream University this year is that the viewership you could definitely see from the 25 plus club wasn't exclusively on short form. I saw a lot of TikToks of people reviewing Stream University saying that they done ha ha he he'd on TikTok so much that they was ready to commit and finally download that purple app. Absolutely loved to see it. And I think that from the TikToks that I watched, a lot of those people who spoke on it gave credit specifically to a couple creators. I'll talk about those creators a little bit later, but I really liked to see that there was a lot of people in my age range who were finally tapping in. Streamer University 2025 obviously was new, had a lot of potential, which was the draw. People wanted to have a piece of the Kai Cenat effect, so to speak. And you could tell in the novelty and the newness of, Stream University 2025 that people came in, didn't know what to expect, but they did an amazing job with the opportunity and the information that was given to them and the platform that was afforded them through Streamer University 2025. Now, having seen that proof in concept, I feel like people who were vying for and successfully made it into 2026 completely overly understood the assignment. Like overly understood the assignment. And what was really nice about that is I feel like obviously there was a variety of different streamers who made the Streamer University 2026. And I will talk about said variety in just a bit. But I like the fact that people stayed authentic to how they were used to doing their content and doing that, integrating it into the Stream University space. And I feel like that led to a variety that of like kind of pivoted away from the bottleneck. Like it didn't just people didn't bottleneck into a few very popular creators off of very viral clips. Like there was a wealth of different streamers to be able to choose from and tap into different POVs, different lores, that just made the content overall more enjoyable. So kudos to them streamers for really tapping in. Now, back to the point about variety. There were a million, so I hear, people who applied for Stream University coming into 2026. About 150 streamers, from what I hear, were accepted. And one thing I noticed when I was watching Streamer University this year was the viewership demos. And like I saw some numbers of concurrent streamers that made me really start to look. Like I think there was Spark that was posting stats in real time. But I also was like scrolling through the actual Streamer University category on Twitch. And I realized something about the viewership split. I am not someone who enjoys chaos content, right? Like I will give Summer Baby his credit. Very seldom did I see him pop up on the Stream University category and he had less than 100K concurrent viewers. But what I did realize in seeing that number compared to the other numbers, again, variety of different streamers to be able to pick such a good range from such a large pool. Kudos to Kai and his team for job well done for doing that. If you are somebody who likes a lot of desktop streams, there were streamers for you. If you are somebody who liked a lot of IRL, a streamer who likes to more mix and mingle with the different students on campus, there were plenty of streamers for you. If you are somebody who likes people who are more banterist on the comedy side, there are plenty of streamers for you. Again, if you are somebody who likes the chaos content creation, there are plenty of streamers for you. I like the more wholesome, more cozy, more, I don't mind if you clip farm, but like not so much. I had a wealth of different streamers that I could have tapped into during Stream University, and I definitely took full advantage of that. And I think that that is a job well done in terms of the selection, big and small, of creators for Stream University 2026. Next, I really liked how there was a lot of intentionality in curating and activating around the university theme. What I mean by that, Obviously last year, Stream University had the classes, and then people kind of just were free for all, content creating, collabing, whatever the case may be from there. I like the fact that we added layers this year. Whoever's idea was to add clubs, chef's kiss. Adding the clubs that then trailed into the different events that were happening on campus, that then added with the homecoming, and then how that went into the alum, like it, all of that intertwined just really did an excellent job in playing into the university theme, excuse me, beyond the classroom. Job well done on that. On top of that, piggybacking off of that, I think Kai did an excellent job streaming just enough. And by just enough, I mean he streamed just enough to start this storyline with the whole stream university thing, and keep the chronology going without distracting from obviously the platform that he was affording to the other content creators. And what I thought was especially nice is even when he wasn't on stream, he wasn't just an omniscient being, an omniscient dean. He was on campus actively. He might not have been on stream with his cameraman following him around and like, live for us to view in real time, but you saw that he was doing content with other streamers. He was engaging with the classes. I saw that he even was up there during Marcus' speech and debate. I thought that was amazing, and I think that that really showed that he's really committed to opening that platform for other creators. That in mind, the timing and integration of alumni, chef's kiss. I think a lot of people were disappointed before Kai revealed that there was going to be a secret list of alumni who were returning. Disappointed to see some of the people, the favorites, the fan favorites from Streamer University 2025 not returning for Streamer University 2026. I think that to think ahead and be like, you don't want that to clash with people or people to like get comfortable in just watching what Streamer University 2025 was, we're not into 2026, and not having a space for new people to come in and also do their thing and also, be creative with the platform was great. Like, bringing them in for just a bite-sized amount of time, an abbreviated amount of time that didn't distract from the other creators who came in this year, but honestly amplified. I think the time that they came in really hyped up the momentum that was already going, and really brought some morale and brought a new layer of entertainment in a way that was really good. Again, going back to the whole storyline thing, having them come in and play in the basketball game that was very well produced, by the way, added into that storyline. I thought that was amazing. And yeah, I think that was really good. And I'm excited to see how alumni are going to be integrated into Streamer University 2027, even though I know that he mentioned they're going to have a chance to come in full time versus just a bite-sized amount of time. I thought that was really, really, really good. Next, professors. Y'all. Agent Zero. Give that man his tenure. Full stop. I am an Agent stand down. Easily one of my favorite niggas on the internet. Easily. By far. I was nervous that because he did so well last year, how is he going to top that? How? I couldn't conceptualize it. And child, he absolutely bodied. First of all, to be a public speaker already in and of itself is a talent. To be a public speaker and be entertaining adds on to said talent. To be a public speaker, be entertaining, and do so while giving valuable, actionable information, goated. I have no words. Like, just when you think it couldn't get better, it absolutely did. And not only that, doing that while also being intentional about giving both knowledge, information, and also trying to give a tangible takeaway. to the creators who were in that room, that man, like, he already can do no wrong in my eyes, but it continued to just get better and better as the weekend went on. And kudos to that man. Um, Also, more Agent Glaze. Um, if Agent isn't already tapped into his entrepreneurial bag outside of like the media space, content creation space that obviously is like his bread and butter, he should. And I think that Agent is a great personification of like the bones of what it looks like for talent that would also do well in like the serial entrepreneurship, like suits side of the business, because he has a very good pulse on the value he on an analytical level, the value that he brings to the marketplace, how to convert that and make that evergreen business. In my opinion, is that is very evident in what he presents. And the TVU, I think she was like the head of marketing, who was there for one of his classes. I think it was the class that he gave the TVUs. She spoke on that. She was like, listen, I be in these meetings. I see people who are tasked with presenting information and analytics similar, to what you just gave in a very entertaining and digestible way. And you do it very, very well. Child, Agent can do no wrong in my eyes. Anyway, next, Ludwig, instant tenure, in my opinion. I was disappointed to hear that initially, when the idea of him being a professor at Streamer University was brought to him, he thought he was aged out of the Streamer University demo. I really appreciated how serious Ludwig took this. And I think that a lot of people received his approach as aggressive sometimes. But I think the perspective Ludwig gave, especially when he like went as far as giving the analytics, when he took the streamers from last year's Streamer University and gave like what the average viewership growth looked like. I think he had a statistic where he was like, X amount of people in this room are likely going to quit streaming after Streamer University based on the statistics. That is the type of information that you take and it charges you up. It should motivate you to defy those odds if you don't want to fit in that category. And the way that he went about sharing it, I think, put a lot of things in perspective for a lot of creators, not just in that room, but people watching at home. And I also like the fact that, again, going alongside that tangible part, he didn't just see the value in, he wanted people to, he wanted the creators that were in his class to come in, absorb the knowledge, take advantage of the fact that he is there at your disposal to answer questions. But I like that he also came with the intention to give as well. At the end of Stream University during the awards ceremony, he gave 4 spots to his streamer games, and then there was also another streamer who I think their Dell laptop that they were gifted at Stream University was stolen, and not only did he replace it with a better computer, also added like into their setup a bunch of different things that they may need as a sponsored like item. Going back to the 4 students that he chose for his streamer games, th- who he chose to me was a testament to the fact that they are not just there looking to see who is getting the highest engagement, who is like, he really took it seriously to like pick people who were there, like really absorbing, like taking in that knowledge and taking advantage of the platform and the access that those content creators who were there on that campus, who had access to him amongst many other people, had. And I think the people that he picked were a reflection of that. And I think Kai did the same thing even with the awards. I don't remember what the awards were last year. I remember a couple off the top of my head, but I do feel like this year's list of awards was very robust and like gave a lot of opportunities for everybody. There being a category for anybody to really, I don't say anybody to get an award because that takes away from the gravitas of the award, but it was a diverse range of awards to be awarded to content creators, and I thought that was very commendable because it required um, a certain level of a high level of attention being paid to be able to pick people who fit those awards or were deserving of those awards accordingly. So I thought that was absolutely amazing. I also really like the fact that the each one teach one spirit was like a clear value in Stream University 2026. In 2026, where we are in a society that everybody's like competitive, like overly competitive, overly transactional, especially in like the entertainment content creation space. It was nice to see that there was value in people sharing knowledge and sharing resources from creator to creator as well. Couple examples of that. There was a lot of people who came in, content creators, very obviously. They're at Stream University. They're going to stream, but maybe streaming is not something that they're was already in like their content repertoire, for lack of a better word. I really enjoy seeing the streamers share information and like get those streamers properly set up with how they need to have their Streamlabs, their OBS, whatever the case may be, so that they can run an efficient stream, especially because a lot of them didn't have a cameraman or didn't have tech support the way some of the more veteran streamers may have had. Um, I also like the fact that, and this is something that I feel like a lot of the creators next year should really do. Um, Max did this with wardrobe, and you can scale it depending on what you're willing to do and the type of resources you have. But wardrobe seems to be up early in the morning all the time. And I think Max's cameraman, because wardrobe didn't come with the cameraman, Max's cameraman was out acting as wardrobe's cameraman early in the mornings when Max was either sleeping or getting dressed. And to add to that, wardrobe streaming was also put into what's the word, like wardrobe's ingest was on Max's stream so that Max's viewers could watch wardrobe in the morning. What an excellent way to share audience. I think Silky did the same. I forget with who, but like while he was getting dressed, their ingest was on Silky's stream and he was sharing the audience with his audience with that creator. That's an excellent way for like bigger streamers to support some of the smaller streamers. I'm not saying you have to share your cameraman, but if there's a smaller creator that you really fuck with and you feel like your audience can resonate with them or your audience would appreciate their content, put them on. Like, put their interest on your shit or whatever the lingo is. Like, share the audience, put them on your stream so that your audience can see them. I also like what they did with puzzles where a lot of people would come, stop by, and then they would also say, "Hey y'all, sub up, or follow, follow, follow." And that really boosted her following. Same with Max and Wardrobe. Wardrobe came into Twitch with 77K followers on his Twitch account and left with 400 and something thousand followers. That is a humongous leap in following. And a lot of that had to do with people saying follow, 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 but also him just, being seen on other people's streams, whatever the case may be. I thought that was amazing. And I also liked that the last night, it seemed like there was a concerted effort, and the last night being the one after the award ceremony, there was a concerted effort for people to like connect off stream. So like the bigger creators, I didn't obviously left Agent down. Agent didn't stream, but I did see that he was like interacting and having conversations with streamers. Kai even said it in the award ceremony, like take the time to have like real conversations. And I think he was kind of, I don't want to say dog whistling, but like really trying to hone in, like this is the last chance to like really build that rapport and like connect with people on some off camera stuff aside from like the clip farming funny stuff that y'all have been doing 4 out of the 5 days that you've been here. I think that's amazing, and I would love to see that like happen more coming into Stream University 2027. Um, Next, opportunities for improvement. Again, very well executed events. Very well executed. I just think there's some things that I would have liked to see a lot more of, like not from a negative feedback point, but like we love to see it, but like, can we see it some more? Sponsorship integration. This is not a cheap feat. So I imagine a lot of the heavy lifting on the sponsorship end was done in the background. whether it be financial, whether it be gifting, whether it be resources, whether it be things that were set up on campus that maybe we didn't see when people were streaming. I would have liked to see a lot more forward facing sponsorship integration. And I think that now going to 2027, a lot of these companies to put their thinking cap on and figure out ways to naturally integrate whether it's their brands into the streamer. We're talking about stream university, so I'm gonna stick to stream university talk. The streamer university ecosystem. I'm gonna use YouTube as an example. We are in a reality TV Love Island era. Why on earth didn't YouTube like activate around the confessional room? I feel like that was such a missed opportunity. And I know that they had one, but it was very like, from what I saw, because I think I saw a clip of wardrobe in there. If it's not evident already, I freaking love wardrobe. But I saw wardrobe in there. It was like a little, and I think it was a corded lapel, a ring light, if that, maybe a LED panel light, and a barren room. Hello, missed opportunity. Like, I would have liked to see YouTube not only do the confessional, but like have some of the people who you sent out there from your team going out to the different clubs, going out to the different classes, combining that with the confessional content and like pushing that on your platform for discoverability. Like is I think it was Agent who was saying like even though people are primarily living on Twitch, it's not or one streaming platform. Let's not say Twitch exclusively. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket. Like if you're going to stream, take that content, either co-stream or also do that and put the content on YouTube and have multiple different social media platforms that you're thriving and pushing content out on. YouTube is known for being evergreen when it comes to long form content. I don't understand why there wasn't like more of an effort from YouTube as like an entity to like lean into like pushing that or incentivize that. What that looks like, again, go out to those different clubs, take the different content from the confessionals, put that together, have your team quickly turn around editing some of that stuff together and push it up your algorithm. Surely you own the platform. It shouldn't cost you that much to do. You already have staff on the ground. I don't know where any of the content that YouTube took as a platform at Stream University lives. I don't, unless people posted the Glambot. I saw one Glambot post from DDG, and maybe it's still early because it's only Tuesday, but like, I, where is it? I would love to see a lot more of that. And I also would like to see more after dark content curation. And what I mean by that, not in like the negative, nasty way. When it comes to Twitch, it is very much understood that discoverability is an issue, right? And a lot of people come from TikTok, YouTube shorts, like those bite-sized shorts type content. That is the meta to get people to convert over to Twitch. A lot of that comes from clip farming. With clip farming, though, I think considering the smaller streamers, at nighttime, after the big organized campus wide events are wrapped, that is when we see a lot of people collabing, leaning into the whole clip farming stuff, right? There's a level of rapport that is required in order to successfully clip farm, in my opinion. When it comes to clip farming, there is a fine line between success and cringe/secondhand embarrassment. And naturally, for the creators who have worked together or the creators that are familiar with each other from the social sphere, whatever the case may be, if they're bigger creators, it's going to be easy for them to lean into that if there's already a rapport with some of the creators that are there. And that is why you see a lot of the bigger streamers doing really well at night when the campus wide events are over. And the smaller creators are trying their best to pop into rooms and make themselves uncomfortable to get some type of content, clip farming or not, intentional clip farming or not aside. Um, I think that if there was more like curation around like activities after the campus wide events, and it could be like they don't need to be big grandeur things. It could be something as small as like a game room, like group activities. It could be like incentivized side quests, like if you complete X, random little tasks or random little side quests, you get gifted subs from a sponsor or gifted subs from Kai. I don't freaking know. Like it would be nice to see people have opportunities to like not be also burdened with, and they're content creators, so I'm not saying this is a burden, but you also have to think like these are smaller content creators who are dealing with like coming into a space where there's probably a lot of imposter syndrome. There's probably a lot of intimidation to like, interact with a brand new set of people that they don't know, big and small creators, whilst also ideating on the fly how to collaborate with them, whilst also trying to build a rapport that hopefully lasts beyond, the event that is Stream University. That is a lot to have to do in real time in a 5-day window in an impactful way that you hope is going to obviously not just perform well, but like last beyond the 5-day bubble. So it'd be nice if some of that, like those that was taken off their shoulders by giving them, again, the same way there's curation that was successful around things like the roommates, like give them some avenues to where they can interact in smaller, more intimate settings that also can produce very good clips. I would love to see that coming into Stream University next year. Also, to the point of clip farming, there was a clip, I think it was Alyssa, and she was reacting to another streamer who was complaining that I don't know if it was alumni day or just she was talking about bigger streamers in general and how hard it is for like the smaller creators to like approach them or interact with them, whatever the case may be. And Alyssa, who she already had a presence for herself, but she talked about how like she came in with like 300 concurrent viewers on Twitch coming to Stream University, and she's now averaging what I hope will continue about 1,000, which is very good progress. But one thing that she noticed that the smaller streamers were doing, smaller creators were doing, they'll get the opportunity to like be in the room or like be in close proximity to some of these bigger creators, and they turn it into essentially like an interview. They're like asking them a million questions, and that's not bad. Like obviously the point is to like information share and all that stuff. But you also have to keep in mind that they too are also producing content, and like there's a level of like read the room sometimes that was missing, that translated as a viewer into like very cringe, very secondhand embarrassment, very forced clip farming, or just like wrong time Buki, like, I that I wish that, like, there was more, cognizance, is that a word? People were more cognizant, creators were more cognizant about, and that's not me saying they shouldn't interact with them, but remember that, again, 1,000,000 people applied, 150 people were selected. There was something about you that was entertaining, something about the community that you grew that was entertaining, that got you to the point of Streaming University. Lean into your personality. Like, people like you for you. You've built an audience for being you. Like, lean into that more and like find ways to naturally integrate that into how you're interacting with creators big and small, and that to me is going to be not only successful but like lasting. Hate to use wardrobe as an example again, but like the things that wardrobe be going viral for, which there is an element of clip farming that is improv that we don't give enough credit. I will give it that. But I believe that the things that Wardrobe be saying and doing that he be going viral for, even if the cameras was off, he would be doing that shit anyway. That's just a part of him. That is what makes him entertaining. That is what makes us laugh, and people buy into that. Obviously, the same with some of these other creators. I think sometimes, I think the pressure of the environment made people like put themselves out there, which they should be doing, but sometimes that putting themselves out there could flip on the wrong side of the coin. And I hate seeing those clips. Like there were moments like in Agent Stream that, again, Agent Blaze loved that man down, but like there were moments in his stream that I would have to turn it off because some of the interactions were just gave cringe, and you could see that he was trying to find an exit strategy. Like, and I'm sure that it kind of it probably broke those creators' hearts seeing the playback and being like, "Damn, I probably didn't need to do that. I probably could have gone about it a different way." Like, lean into you and the value that you bring because it's obviously gotten you this far, and it's going to continue to take you further if you lean into that. Next, chaos content. There's obviously a demo for that. Like I said, Suburb Baby was doing his absolute biggest one. But I don't think that chaos is required for successful content. Like, I think sometimes there is a push to like do really rambunctious things, and maybe that's showing my age, but like, where did this push that you have to be like destructive or like overly like chaotic in order to garner an audience? I think there's an element of that is entertaining, but like some people be taking it far. And to me, I'm just not the demo for that. And I think that that tends to get a lot of numbers. But going back to my point earlier about I wish there was more curation around more avenues for people to like do more than just that and like have spaces. I would have liked to see that a lot more. I'm a podcast girly, so I naturally the speech and debate club that Marcus led, very much my bag. And I like to see creators that I usually see in a more IRL or a more gaming or maybe even more chaos like speak. Like that gave me a new layer of things to enjoy or like a different layer of understanding about that creator as a person for me to buy into and subscribe to them as a person. So I would like to see more of that personally. The guidance counselor role. I would like to see that role evolve into the storyline or the Stream University theme in a much more intentional, curated way. And this is no shade to Rage, because I've been a fan of Rage pre-Stream University, was a fan of the job well done that he did while at Stream University this year, and hope to see him return back again in future Stream University years. But I think there's so much fun that could be had with that role, especially like given my notes about like wanting there to be more curation around like, you know, different types of content and collaboration from like a more curated view, right? It would be so cool if the guidance counselor role kind of, I don't want to say it was like omniscient, but like if the same, I use the roommate thing often to make my point, so sorry to do that again, but like in real time, imagine if that curating intentionality was applied. Like if there are two streamers who after day one, like you people be really cool to collab together, like make it a thing, like a mandatory homework assignment. Guidance counselor said you got to have breakfast with insert creator here, or like guidance counselor gave you a side homework project, I don't know, with insert creator here. These are the steps to complete, and then come see me in my office after. Like that would be really cool, a cool way to again farm content, farm collabs from a counselor perspective. Professors I want to see. I think it would be cool to see Keem do a Tech 101 class. I do. I think that there's probably a lot of resources on the tech side that people who are not hip or people who don't necessarily have the most advanced understanding of the platform could benefit, or platform tools, tech could benefit from learning at Stream University, taking back and scaling based on their content needs at home. I want to see Keem get into the tech bag. I think that's another valuable, that's another set of valuable information that content creators at Stream University and at home would benefit from. I want to see Sarah Safari back. I think PE is a great class. I think it is fun. I think like making, I think they played dodgeball this time, like gamifying it in a PE way is great. But I think that there's also a lot of creators who really be into their health bag, be into their fitness bag, and like are really doing a good job of that. And it would have been really cool to like have gym sesh, like let her be like the trainer, the Stream University trainer. I think that would be really cool because I think there was the gym was something that was mentioned that she had access to this time, but obviously as a student, like it would be nice to see her come back as a professor, in my opinion. Lastly, um, people that I'm obsessed with, I'm sure I've said it a million times already. Somebody get a team around wardrobe immediately. He's young, he's had a meteoric rise over the last month. Surround that boy with a team so that he can get to the bag because he's already a darling in the social media space. And Stream University has catapulted his audience beyond what he was already growing on TikTok on his own. That boy needs to strike the iron while it's hot. And I'm so excited to see how he's going to grow and continue to keep going astronomically as he already has. Jordan Lucas, that girl, that girl is funny as hell. Like her clips, absolutely hilarious. Love her down. Can't wait to see her rise. I'll also be watching. I really wasn't tapped into like core X phase type content. Um, I really like them. I think streaming, I think there's for some reason for me, and I could just be wrong because I don't have a lot of people that I talk to about this stuff with. I feel like there's kind of a divide. There's people who watch AMP, there's people who watch Phase, there's people who watch, all the other different, and seldom do they intertwine. Maybe that's me showing my age. I don't know. Like I was very much on the AMP side of the spectrum, but I really do think that like Stream University tapped me into like the core side, and I will be watching their content because I do like their characters, their personalities that they displayed at Stream University. I was watching their streams. Um, love Silky. I think he's absolutely hilarious. Like we'll be watching his streams. Love Jason. Tapped into Lacey here and there. I loved it, and I'll be tapping in. There's a bunch of smaller creators that I will be watching as well. A lot of surprises of people that I was like, oh, I'm familiar with you, but I'm not familiar with you in the content creation space that I'll be tapping into. Love them down. Lastly, puzzles. I don't know why they haven't given that girl a puzzle brand or how she hasn't started a puzzle brand at this point. I would like to see her adapt um obviously a puzzle brand, but adapt the business model of that of a Loungefly and then contentify it. Like you know how Loungefly has like the bags, the backpacks, the wallets, all that stuff, and they just do consistent collabs with different like TV shows, theme parks, etc. And they just keep churning out stuff Loungefly-esque, but like XYZ show edition or movie edition. I would love to see Puzzles have a puzzle brand that she obviously grows just on her own, where she collabs with artists, like actual artists who make paintings and stuff. When there's films that come out, collab with different films, TV shows, have people come on from those films and TV shows to do the puzzle with her and make content out of that. Like, I don't know. Like I see the vision. I hope she's tapping into that on her own end. Um, but I can ramble about this all day long, y'all. All day long. Stream University is going to be in Europe next year. I think that is super exciting as somebody who is very tapped into the UK creator scene. I'm excited to see how that pans out. I have full faith that we were already at a 10. It's probably going to go to a 20 and beyond. Excited for all the creators to take this momentum and like see what they do with it and carry on with it and continue to grow it. I have so many creators to watch now. I am not limited to my little handful that I'd be very comfortable with. We'll still be very much obsessed with Agent, but I'm excited to finally have some new content creators in my rotation and job well done after all those notes. I'll be back again next week with another episode. I will be rolling out my segments finally. And I told myself my goal is to do at least 4 episodes before I start having guests on. on. I want to get comfortable solo doing my podcast, so I'm not relying on having guests all the time. But yeah, bye y'all.